Whenever there is a war-like situation in any country, it impacts the country at a national level and also on a global level, on a larger scale. As per astrology, yes, planets do have impact on life on Earth, and because of these planetary combinations and planetary movements, there are many situations and circumstances which arise on Earth, like natural disasters, like pandemic, and also war-like situations between many countries or between two particular countries. Let's discuss what does astrology have answer for the India-China war. Is the war really going to happen? If yes, then what will be the impact of this war? Let's discuss that and let's see what is my perspective on this as per my astrological research for India-China war. Before that, I would like to also highlight one very interesting thing which might be which might amaze you, and that is the Vastu-Shastra of India and China. Yeah, it can also reveal a lot of things about the Indian and the Chinese relationship overall. What does Vastu-Shastra hold for these two countries? Before that, if you are new to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon next to it and get more interesting videos on astrology only on Astro Science. Let's discuss about Indo-China war as per astrology. Before that, the thumb rule and the formula to understand this is, guys, that for any major events in life, like be it pandemic, be it any global or natural disaster, be it war between two or more countries, whenever there is an involvement of more than 2 or 3 countries, always try to consider bigger planets in astrology, which is Jupiter, Saturn and Rahu, because these planets have bigger Mahadashas and these planets are, their movements are a bit slow in astrology. Now here, I would like to give one small illustration, one example, live example of what's happening between India and China. We have to consider what happened in the past. See, research is only done when you see the past, you see the present and also you see the future. There has to be some logical explanations to it also. So as per my research, my perspective, if I consider the previous wars between India and China, 1962, many of us still remember it, and 1962, this was the planetary combination and because of which China was more dominating on India. And we all know that China had some kind of victory at that time over between India and China war. So at that time, if you see, Jupiter was in Aquarius, but what amazes me over here is Rahu, which we have to consider in this case between India-China war. Rahu is in Taurus and Saturn plus Ketu are in Capricorn. This was the combination in 1962. And if you see today in 2020, Saturn is again in Capricorn. And if you see the combinations, Ketu, Saturn, Jupiter, they are very close to each other. And over here, Saturn, Jupiter and Ketu, again very close to each other. So that kind of a combination has caused war-like situations right now in 2020. However, having said that, the only difference between 1962 war and 2020 situations will be that in 1962, the Rahu was in Taurus sign, and right now Rahu today for 2020 is in Gemini. So Rahu is much in a better position than 1962, because in 1962 the then government of India, the Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru was there, and in 1962 if you see, Taurus being in Rahu being in Taurus was not a good combination related to communication by the government. So probably because of some communication problems or errors at that time, because of the then government might have caused some problems. Right now, Rahu being in a very powerful position is not going to create bigger issues between two or more countries, between India and China. The only reason is Rahu is in good position. This government, the Modi government, have taking is been taking good measures, and the communication with the government, with the people, with other countries are very strong. If we see, Rahu in 1962 was at 11 degree 20 Kala, and today Rahu is at 4 degree 20 Kala. Rahu is about to change the zodiac sign, which is going to bring a lot of impact, positive impact, I must say. And September 23rd, 2020, Rahu will change the sign from Gemini to Taurus, which is going to considerably bring a lot of changes between India and China relationship. As per Vastu-Shastra, north-east should always be light in weight, it should not be heavy, and southwest can be heavy. If you see India, the northeast is the Himalayan mountain, which is very heavy, which creates the northeast of the country very heavy, and that is not so good. And if you see on the southeast and the southwest, we have waters. So as per Vastu Shastra, water in southwest is not good. In fact, it should be the other way around. The northeast can have water, which is very good, and the southeast or southwest can have mountains or heavy things out there. If you see for China, it's totally the opposite. The southeast have mountains for them, whereas their northeast they have waters. The Chinese and the Japanese water for them. So that makes the Vastu Shastra very dominating for China. And if you see for India, the waters which comes in southwest and southeast, and the mountains which are there on the northeast is not so good as per Vastu Shastra.